secondary problem, which actually becomes a primary problem, you actually have your head in an unusual position. So you want to bring your head down like this a little bit, okay? So try it again. And then oftentimes people that do this breathe through their nose. So all of you, unless you're a percussion player, don't ever breathe through your nose. If you breathe through your nose, you never breathe deeply. Okay? So breathe through your mouth. Okay. Now try to relax. I know it's difficult because all your peers are here. And now I'll give you a little piece of advice. If you guys are insulted by this, I'll apologize ahead of time. Don't take it the wrong way. But you know, all of us, when you're a stage performer, you have to learn, how am I going to deal with nerves? And I can tell you how I do it. I think you're all fine young people, it's fine. But when I come to play initially, the first thing that crosses my mind is this. I'll say it not so rudely, but I don't care what you think. No, I don't. I told you, look, you take offense to it. Now I'm going to have to pound you. Okay? No, I mean, you can't, when you go out there, otherwise what happens is you start doing this. You become unaggressive. And you want to be aggressive and let go. So it's a far more exciting sound. And of course it looks like it's easy. It's not easy. So you gotta don't think about them, okay? No? Don't breathe through your nose. So you're doing great, by the way. This is hard to do because I'm breaking him down. He's handling it. The next thing that you're doing is that you're pulling your bottom lip off the mouthpiece during the inhale. And the bottom lip has to keep contact with the mouthpiece. Okay? This is true of all the brass instruments. Okay? Still breathe through your nose. So what you do, Raymond, is you got to go put it on your face, right? And then what should happen, because this is totally new to you, I want you to try to miss. Do not play accurately. And when you miss, it should be really loud, and that note should be all over them in the back. Okay? It should be okay. Well, if you miss, what I'm telling you is I don't care if you miss. I mean, I find it difficult to believe that you would get it because I've just altered 3 of your primary ways of playing to help you. Okay? If I tell him, hold on, sorry. If I tell him, here's 4 things to do, go sit down, let me get to the next one so that everybody else doesn't get bored, I'm not helping him. And then you're not learning anything. You have to see there's a process. And it takes more than 2 minutes. And you have to be very, very patient. You know? And I'm very, very patient. Some people say, my students say, sometimes I think you're really stubborn, Dr. Bach, and I always tell them, you know what? It's funny, I've never really given it much thought what you thought. I don't care. Do what I tell you to do. You know, when you go to college and the professor says, here, you got to read, Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights, and then let's read some Dickens and some Conrad and whatnot. You don't challenge the professor as a teacher. You do it or you fail. And it's funny, in English courses in college, the failure rate in the courses is 50% at UNCG. 50% of the students fail. That's terrible. Yeah. Okay, so I don't care if you get it. So you hear what he's getting for a sound, right? Do this. How'd you blow like that? You play the G. Let's do it again. Don't breathe until you got it up. Attaboy. Now play the G. With some of my college students, it looks a little weird if people come in, but sometimes I have them lie on the floor. It gets a little weird explaining it to some people, but I don't give a rip.
Like Raymond.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to have Raymond because we got spit all over here. So, but you'll see, if you lie down on the ground on your instrument, some of the instruments it's harder. I would say if the tuba player is really mean and a bad person, he should or she should do that because it'll hurt them. But it's hard with some of the instruments to do it. But you'll see that the diaphragm